Hey stream, we are testing a server right now because it is the first time that AL plays against MYM. Another testing Hong Kong server, so the game should be happening very soon. Okay, server test should be fine, and we're just waiting for MYM players now.
Hello, Luna.
Hey Waga, good morning, or good wherever you are.
Wherever you are. It's afternoon. And it's very cold outside. I decided I'm not going out today. At least there's no frost on my window. Can't be that cold.
Is it that cold?
No, I mean, there's no frost, so it should be pretty good then. But there's pretty much snow outside. I could make a snowman. But I'm having guys going out. No, that's a bad idea. Not gonna do it. I feel like biggest stalker of AL right now. They will have no strategy that I haven't seen. Amazing how much these guys play though.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing well in so many tournaments that they are going really far and have to play a lot.
Unfortunately, I heard Risk got a personal job, like a
Oh,
job.
what? Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
he's currently complaining in chat. Hurry up, guys! I need to go to work.
I think this is the first time I'm really like. No, I've seen him 2 times before. But it's the first time I'm really watching a game live where Asians play Dota 2. The other ones have always been mods.
MYM, where are you?
Where we at?
Yeah, I have work to go to too, man. Let's go.
What's the clock at Lumi House?
7:30. 7:20.
7 early, 7 a.m.
7:20, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that is early. It's like 4:20 p.m. Yeah. Pretty chill. Pretty chill. I was sitting here in minding my own business, screaming sound. And then Casper comes asking me to play with him. And we start talking old memories, old games he casted where I played techies. I watched one of them like recently. Techie
The bot
bench.
solo techies.
Yeah, Techie Bench and Tiny in the same game. Awesome. He was like, yeah, I remember that game.
for people that are just joining us, Absolute Legend is all here, and why I'm missing 2 players. Apparently one of them is a stand-in.
Yeah. Keeping time schedule. No. He always does that shout out to his dog. Sanjetsu. Very nice name for a dog. Two mins coming. Sorry. One of them again.
I think we're ready, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. We can probably go pick some of these. Everyone is in. I hope it's the right player. need 5 more minutes.
Alright, 5 more minutes and we'll be able to start this game.
Right. I will go get something to drink then.
Alright, sounds good. Welcome back. They haven't started yet.
Yeah, they start now. Good timing, it seems.
Okay, I'm gonna run the intro and well, I'll make sure they're loaded and then I'll start the intro. There's many times in the past where I just start the intro and they're like, just kidding.
And there's just like, no, nothing going on. And again, look at this drawing thing, always.
He only draws it when he's radiant. Have you noticed that?
And they're just like my team. They have to have their own color. It's very important that Risk is teal. Same as Mini. Always teal. Give me teal or I won't play.
Well, I always ask for yellow. One of my favorite colors.
Pentium 1.
Did they even make Pentium ones? I don't think.
I don't think so. Alright.
Radiant team back.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Premier League, sponsored by Twitch TV, hosted by Angel, of course, brought to you guys by DotaComTiers.com. Today we're watching Absolute Legends versus Meet Your Makers, two juggernauts of the East heading up against each other. And today, alongside with me, I have Wagamama and his notebook as we're analyzing this Absolute Legend game. Waga, how are you doing today?
Yeah. After casting 4 games of AL, I didn't feel it was enough, so today I will be casting 2 more. I'm great. Thanks for asking. And I'm glad to be here again.
We're going to see Invoker here today by Absolute Legend. Generally, this hero gets banned, but today he's going to get some play before Furion's picked up. Would you feel like preferring Invoker over Furion? What do you think about that?
I think both have very big impact on the game, but it's of course very different. I mean, Invoker purely has a very team fight and lane-wise.
He's not a bad ganker.
Present. Compared to Furion?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because Furion represents the pushing and the ganking. Meanwhile, Invoker is a strong laner and a strong team fight. And again, Dragon Knight.
So my question is, are we going to see the standard Quas-Wex Invoker, which is probably most likely the case, or with DK involved, maybe we're going to see some Alacrity action, because, well, what is better than Frost Epicenter toss at you? Well, Alacrity Frost Epicenter, because that thing hurts.
Yeah, I still think they will go for the Vex, because they will go for the standard build of Tornado EMP.
Right.
It's very essential in their picks already. They are, even though this looks like a pretty good mid-late game lineup, this just screams to me that they want to finish around 35 or 30. Meanwhile, the Dire team, and with AA as support, they have a very good late game composition. Actually, Furion gets very evil towards late game. Yeah,
I feel like MYM might be going for a little bit more ganking oriented now. We have 2 global heroes in a sense. Furion will be there, and of course Ancient Apparition Ultimate will be there as well. So in terms of early game ganks and dealing with AL generally is very good early on, even though sometimes they don't pick good early heroes. They're very good in terms of early lane engagement as well. Their positioning is very great. So maybe they're going to try to tip the scale with these. Black Hole Enigma is going to be banned. Both teams banning quite a bit of AoE heroes. The Spectre ban, of course, is a little bit afraid of the global strat that might be coming their way.
Yeah, I think they pretty much realized that Spectre was an annoying hero when they played against Fnatic last time.
Yes.
And it would fit very well into the lineup of MYM and add 1 more global, actually. So it would be very evil to see them pick up Spectre. Spectre and AA is always an evil combination. If they hit a good ultimate, Spectre can just make those kills happen.
So where does MYM go from here? Do they fully fill out their global strat? We haven't seen like a global really in a long time. I feel like it's trending away. It doesn't really work that well.
You can always see a good team pick up the Tinker and Furion in the same lineup and just make it happen, but I don't see them going for Tinker here. I think they will play a bit more safe than that. Tinker is a risky play. But it could work nicely for them if they wanted to.
We'll see. I have not seen HY play anything other than a hardcore carry in all of their MYM games. They're a little bit like Fnatic in that regard. They always have a hard carry as one of their heroes, so we'll have to wait to see what that hard carry is. In terms of the available hard carry, well, that's not going to be it. As Lifesteal gets picked up here by Absolute Legend, this is somewhat confusing, yeah.
I think they're counterpicking themselves here, kind of. They did not want to play against the Knights. They were like, can we pick him? Yeah, okay, can. Let's do it.
Well, Yeah, Lifestealer
I
would be a
don't.
very decent counter pick against the Dragonite. He is kind of the tank slayer, as you will. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
Necrolite would be a great pick. Teams don't have balls to do it.
he will die pretty hard, and the EMP is too evil.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
doesn't have the time to juke out of it with the lineup of AL. But that was kind of interesting seeing them pick up the negs, and for sure they are removing a lot of carry options. Look, all from their second ban, they go anti-mage ban, then they pick normally, and normally people don't pick a hard carry early game or early picks. And then they ban Spectre and Void, and then they pick negs.
Yeah.
They're really leaving MYM with very few options.
I think MYM at this point should not really try to compete at the late game. They should just try to go for team fights and early victory.
Because the
there you go.
negs really, that's pretty good.
Yep.
That's pretty good. I love to see a Viper with Aghanims. It can counter so many things. Especially, as we always said, like BKB based melee strength heroes. They can just do nothing against a Viper with Aga.
Get kited all. The Enchantress is going to be the pick. I was going to suggest a Darkseer because Vacuum,
Yeah.
A Blast, Ravage.
And, I mean, Dire could go for Darkseer.
Yeah, I think that would be
Yeah, no
extremely
problem.
evil. But looks like in terms of the Radiant side, we might see some type of Shadow Shaman and DK top. I assume Lifestealer bot, Enchantress jungle, and then Invoker mid. Seems standard. Absolute legend laning here. In terms of MYM, it's kind of hard to call.
Yeah, it depends. It all comes down to the last pick because this might be a solo.
Ooh.
Okay, it's not a solo Viper, I think. But either they want to have very flexible roamers or they're just gonna let Storm handle a lane by himself. Sort of.
Yeah, we could see a tri-lane bottom Viper and Storm mid and Prophet top, or maybe Prophet mid and Storm top. And that's definitely possible.
I think the first way you said it there would probably be a pretty strong way of laning it. But then again, it depends on which jungle they decide to go with Enchantress in the Radiant. Because facing a dual lane plus jungler is always super hard for a tri-lane. It's really, really not easy. And while Enchantress is a bit easier than Chen, I feel, she's much more dangerous on level 1.
Mhm.
She can come out with 2 creeps, whereas Chen can only come with 1. And interesting to see. I think it's very important for MYM to scout the lanes if they want to get the correct laning in.
I
We'll see.
feel like Enchantress is actually a better hero before like level
And-
3 or 4.
And as always, I'd like to point out, they're going to block the enemy full spot.
As a team,
AL,
as always.
yeah, AL have never done anything else in all the games I watched them. They always go 5, and they always have pretty good 5 lineup. But in this game, yeah, they kind of have the not upper hand, but they're pretty good in this one too.
I feel like MYM, if they could stop the early aggression of that Enchantress, that would be in a very, very good spot. Because if you look at their lineup here, Lifestealer needs a lot of level, Risk needs a lot of level, DK needs a level 16. So if they could really stop that first 10-minute aggression and don't die, and in fact get a couple of kills, I think they're in a great spot here because their heroes are a lot more, they get better a lot quicker. So
Yeah, they can peak very nicely with as soon as they have level 6 on Titan AA, for example. That's going to be huge for their ganks. They can probably do really good team fights with this lineup.
Yeah.
The danger, of course, is always you're not going to be able to have sustainability against the Invoker.
Yep, EMP Tornado will drain your mana. Let's see how many Arcane Boots we have to buy.
Look, they chose to block the big camp instead. They assumed that the Enchantress is going to be friendly jungle.
And unfortunately, they are going to be mistaken about that, as we're going to see Lifestealer. No, Invoker is going to be bot, Dragonite top, Lifestealer, and the Shadow Shaman with Enchantress on the top lane here. And looks like we have Prophet going to the top, soloing that one, Stormsphere in the mid lane, and it's going to be Tri-Lane Viper on the bot.
I think the first blood is definitely going to be to AL as it looks now. If they get a good creep, then this Furin is going to get dived pretty hard.
Yep. They are pinging right now. They do just see the Fury on Lifestealer is going to be in lane, so I do believe Prophet knows that there's going to be at the very least a dual lane top, because there's no way you lane the Lifestealer by himself top. Meanwhile, Hasterin gets picked up by the Tidehunter, and let's see who's going to die first. I do believe
It's DK.
And
DK
DK.
is too tanky.
Well,
He's too tanky.
there's Gush with the -2 armor. We'll see. There's a Tangled Brood, nicely done. Shark, the Centaur tanking all of the stuff up, and I do believe the Prophet will go down. Can go down before, so not even close. First blood gets picked up by the Shadow Shaman. That's nice.
Yeah, this lane is very strong, and it's very similar to what XP did in the finals, I believe, of the Replay Sprawl Qualify 4, which ended this weekend, and where XP put up the Enchantress Venomancer in enemy jungle and Nake's on top lane, so they only changed Rasta to Venomancer. All reversed. And it was very strong.
People lagging and they're watching at 720p. Not sure. Okay, anyways, back in the game. HY in the milling against Musica, and Musica is going for his bottle. I do presume he has not saved for any like extra goal in the beginning. Meanwhile, HY same thing.
Yeah, I think Storm should be, of course, winning this lane pretty hard, but he could probably put even more aggression on since he has full HP and he has his regen items.
They were waiting for a rune, and there's going to be regeneration rune at the bot lane here. There's two supports kind of hovering over it, no one really needing it right now. No, Tyhunter decides to pick it up despite being at 4 HP, okay. And looks like they
have to sacrifice the top tower already. This is very early to lose a tower. At minute 2, that's not what you want, really.
Prophet trying to do a pull, I assume, onto the top lane. Unfortunately, I guess he missed that. And now we'll be jungling up. And I don't believe that the Absolute Legend team needs to back off. Here comes the 2 support. They aren't smoked up or anything. And I do believe they're scouted out by this Observer Ward as they're passing up top. And
yeah, they're going to be watched. Or they're going to go into vision here. But this is what I meant when I said they need to scout out the laning if they want to get it right. Because now they should have Viper and their dual support top. And initiation gonna come up?
We'll see
No,
here.
not really.
I think they're gonna be fine. In terms of, go ahead.
Now they moved up with a Tide anyway, and they just lose levels and gold on this. So that's a bit sad for MYM.
Yeah, meanwhile here, Risk is going to have a lot easier time on the bot lane. He has already invoked Ghost Walk as the first spell. So Stormstray gets a solo kill against Musica. I did not expect that to happen. I think Dragon Knight will have a tough lane, but I did not expect him to die. But looks like HY pulled a quick one on him. Here comes double Centaur on Sharky on the top lane here. We're going to have a open wounds. There we go. Centaur stomp number 1. Stomp. And then we're going to have a second stomp. Actually, the second stomp stopping the 2 supports. Nicely done here. And they're going to keep going. Enchant is going to be casted. There's a Sprout. Very nicely done. Actually, no tank go out by Lifestealer. Very interesting.
Yeah. I also missed to catch the kill on mid lane, but that's very nice. And Storm is almost level 6 now, so that's a big break for MYM. If he gets early level 6, they can't gang him mid lane. That's going to be very nice for him.
And you can actually set up for a couple of ganks for teammates. Well, it looks like these 2 supports running around, maybe trying to do a backstab the mid lane. I think just continue to look to the top. It is going to be very difficult to dive past the tier 2 tower, and now with 2 heroes in position. But Shaitan feeling very aggressive, as you can see that he's staying very close to enemy tower, waiting for supports to come in right now. HY picks up Illusion Rune, no bottle just yet. He doesn't have a Necro. And you really don't have enough mana to set up a gank right now. Meanwhile, on the bot lane here, we have a teleportation coming in. MYM, with the help of Furion, was able to grab a kill on the Invoker. Did they have Dust? That's the question. Looks like they didn't, but Invoker probably out of mana or didn't have Ghost Walk ready yet.
He could also have been forced to use it once against the Viper, who was already level 5.
Right, and that thing has
it has a pretty long cooldown.
Yeah.
Radiant structures are fortified.
He didn't have it invoked, and yeah, it wasn't cooldown. It's just coming out now.
Oh, forgot to talk about who's playing what. On the MYM side, we have Sharky playing the Tidehunter, Net playing the Ancient Apparition, mid lane here, HY playing the Stormstray. Prophet is played by some character. And then we have, can I say this on the air?
I don't know.
This is Cat Hunter playing the Viper.
Okay.
On the bot.
You can show it, you can hover over it.
Right, but I just can't say it. Back in the mid lane here, we have Absolute Legend. Musica playing the Dragon Knight, as always. Snoopy playing that Shadow Shaman. Godot playing that Enchantress. Usually plays the Chan, of course. Shaitan playing the carry Lifestealer. And of course, the rest of the bot lane playing that Invoker. And it looks like they're going to want to pressure the mid lane a little bit as they feel that top lane is sufficiently pressured. They're pinning 2 supports very, very far back. And Shaitan's still getting very decent farm.
yeah, in terms of CS right now, the only the only good thing for MYM actually is that they have very nice farm on Viper. Oh, bottom lane, bottom lane.
Yep, we're watching that right now. Sprout into a smoke, and the Viper ultimate was able to easily get that kill. Very nicely done. HY up to 29 creep kills, a 26 on our Cat Hunter, and of course 12 on our Nature's Prophet. Me on the other side, Shatan's got 28, 19 on Godot, and 19 on Musica. I gotta say, it seems like the Dire side is farming and killing a little bit better, and they finally just even up the tower there on the bot lane as well. I gotta say, MYM's actually ahead.
Yeah, they're definitely ahead by now.
And
oh, Storm, you're getting a bit caught.
HY using all
He
his...
does have mana for slow mo, but he's gonna get away. He has to jump.
I like how he was getting owned by the lifesteal, and he was just trying to kill that Centaur. Meanwhile, teleportation and coming in for Musica, he will get tangled, but there is a Quelling Blade. Yeah, so Quelling Blade out. That was a little bit slow, but I think he's gonna make it out just fine there.
Yeah, he's playing on the limit. Yeah, they managed to shut down the Invoker very well on the bottom lane. He has nothing. He has boots and Ring of Protection. That's everything he can afford right now. He doesn't have his space boots even. So that's going to be great for Viper, who got the tower and can push on.
Yeah, I feel like Viper is one of those very momentum hero. If you get a couple kills early on, you could just snowball out of control with level advantage, with item advantage. And it seems like he already got the treads, and now he's probably going to pick up that Vit booster right now for a little bit more tanky potential. And generally Vit booster or any strength item not too good against things like Lifestealer, but in this game where you have so many nukes coming away, might not be the worst choice. Yeah, he picks up the Vit booster right now, and we have a couple guys back in the mid lane. I'm not too sure where MYM could push this. I don't really think they can.
They're probably just staying around mid, waiting for an opening, and if they can gank top with Furion's TP, then they will do it, but it's going to be hard. So probably want to get one more hero up before you do that.
I'm actually a little bit worried about the supports here for MYM side. I mean, the carries respectively are doing decently as they're getting kills. Unfortunately, Ancient Aberration is level 2, almost hitting level 3. Tie Hunter's nowhere level 6. We see a zip from HY maybe scouting high ground. Yeah, and if these ultimate don't hit level 6 or maybe even level 11, the mid game is gonna suffer for them because they're counting a lot from these supports.
Yeah, that's why you see Nep standing here and trying to leech XP out of the fog from Shatan's lane on top. But Shatan is very, very diligent about denying, even though there's no hero on his lane. So it's not getting too much from him. It's not even level 3 yet.
Yeah, he's just slowly, and he can't walk in a lane because, well, Shatan has...
He will die.
Yeah, he'll die in one open wound, so he's got to be very, very careful. Godot goes defensive jungle, having been ganked a couple times. A teleportation coming in for Snoopy. Snoopy just, of course, TP's out, one of the bane of the Viper as well. He can't really do anything against you.
Yeah, and what we see from AL right now is that they want to get level 6 on their Enchantress. It's going to be huge for DPS. And then they will probably look for smoke gang, initiate on that Viper, most likely. But they need to come back with this lane for Invoker.
Yeah.
They need to get some kills going on that lane.
Well, Invoker, I feel like he just needs the EXP. Items might be very important as well, but EXP, I think, if you hit level like 11 or 12, you should be okay in terms of helping out team. So.
The thing is that they need to shut down the Viper a little bit. As you said, it's a very snowballing hero, and that's because he has no AoE farm. So if you shut him down a little bit, he can't recover.
Right.
He has no response. And Net, you're being caught out on top lane. Don't have TP. I don't see you surviving this, Net.
Yeah, he doesn't even have boots of speed, and Shatan gets a free kill. And of course, they cannot give away that kills to Lifesteal. Lifesteal also a very momentum-based hero. No indication what item he's going to go. It's probably going to be Armlet, but he has to actually have to opt for treads first. And now he's going to bank.
Question is if he will go for Midas first or not. Some people like to go for the early Midas, but some teams just ignore it.
Yep. It might be a little bit too late now because we're 10 minutes in and he starts to work on Midas. Although I've seen teams do treads and then Midas, and it just completely blows my mind.
Yeah, I don't think we will see it because he didn't have that great of an early game. They got the early tower and they got some assistant kills for him. But he's not that super fond.
Okay, Invoker's gonna get ganked once again. The question is, do they have Dust? There's no Ghost Walk being invoked, and Risk is in huge trouble. Sentry is down, Risk is gonna be dead. And Risk had a pair of Observer Wards, seeing the haste rune being picked up, seeing the heroes coming in. So I think that was just a uncharacteristically mistake from Risk. It is 2 AM right now in Australia, so just like to mention
Always playing funky times.
Right.
Well, Yeah, he was. It's really hard on that bottom lane. He can't even walk out like 600 range from the tower. He's gonna get caught.
Yep.
He needs to stay at the tower, in the tower at all times, and that's a very annoying position to be in. And Rust is gonna leech up level 6 down here on the bottom lane. He needs the next wave as well, and he hasn't.
So right now, trying to call a game, trying to see who is winning. We have a Viper that's extremely farm, and you can say that the Lifestealer is farm as well. I liked what they did here. They put the Viper up top, and that effectively is going to stop Shatan from really laning for a bit, unless they get a gank on him. And now on the bot lane, we're going to see yet another gank on Snoopy. Snoopy gets pulled. There's an ultimate coming in as well, and Stormster is getting huge. He has a dominate streak already. Back in the mid lane, Music is not farming too well either. He's got a treads and 500 gold in the bank. So I feel like MYM's controlling this early game very, very nicely. I'm not too sure how well this Lifestealer's pick is working out, to be honest.
No, that's the thing. They have kind of funky heroes, and what we see now is Storm, who hasn't died a single time yet, and he's gonna get fat, as you say. And he's going for a point booster.
Interesting.
So we're gonna see a Bloodstone.
Well,
That's the only thing he can go with. Or a Skadi, but I don't see it coming.
right, yeah, I'm not too sure what
I
this.
think last time I saw Bloodstone in official game was
Well, like 2 years ago,
probably never.
6.5
Yeah.
something, when Bloodstone was a norm on Storm. So right now, I feel like MYM they just gotta just chill back a little bit, get levels, but more importantly, deny farm to enemy guys, and which is exactly what they're doing right now. I'm gonna check out farm. We got.
AA is closing up on level 6.
Yeah, I actually like what MYM's doing. They're just giving AA a lot of XP. Give him a safe lane to work in, and now he's actually lasting a little bit. 60 on our Lifestealer here, 40 on Musica, 41 on Godot. So they're actually farming fairly decently. Invoker has nothing, by the way. But if you look at the MYM guys, they have 3 guys over 50 CS, and we're only 13 minutes in, so I gotta say MYM in a very, very nice spot. And of course, Prophet farming nicely in the jungle as well.
Yeah. You don't really want to rely on Nags to be the one carrying it. I mean, sure, he's a good hero, he's pretty strong and all, but you don't want to rely on him. You need to have a strong team around the Nags. For him
Yeah,
to be,
especially not against a Viper, because
yeah,
Viper
because
ultimate.
if Viper gets up his I guess deck, he won't even be able to walk in with the Nags. The cast range on Viper ultimate is too high.
Right. For those of you guys that are interested, Viper Ultimate does go through the magical immunity that Nyx have. It won't do any damage, but the slow is kind of what he needs the best, because a melee Lifestealer right clicker, if you can't get into right click range, well, you know, don't matter.
Yeah. And that slow, mind you, is 80% slow. You're basically standing still.
Yep.
So it is very effective against. We use it to shut down heroes like Balanor at times. He just can't walk in and ganging them.
Back in the mid lane, they're gonna try to bring down HY. There was a little bit of poor chainstone coming from Musica and Snoopy. They did not get the kill there. On the top lane, we have MYM transitioning into a kill. 4 people in position. Ty level 7, haven't used his first Ravage yet. Of course, Ancient Aberration level 6 as well. So team fight potential is gonna be up as we see Master Boom being dropped on the mid lane as well. Both teams effectively trading that tier 2 tower or tier 1 tower. Well, actually, they're gonna make a go here as HY gets a little bit of help from that. It's actually gonna go down. Rabbit comes in a little bit late. Can they finish Godot? They are gonna get. Wow! Look at this global, as the MYM team just completely decimating Absolute Legend.
Yeah, Storm had to take a little bit of a fall because he needed to go in for the early initiation. And Furion and Tide were not there yet, but it was very nice of them anyway. They caught him completely surrounded.
Yep, that was it.
And Tide is gonna pick the regen top, I think.
It was a 3-for-1 engagement. They got the top tower. They protected the bot tower, and I do believe they're gonna try to get the mid tower as well. So MYM beating out Absolute Legend so early on. And I gotta say, this is game number 1. A very interesting trend that we've been seeing from MYM. They always lose the first game in the Premier League, rather badly as well, and then they come back like a brand new team and just totally pulling in game 2. But this is not gonna be it. They're playing very well here, and I think they stand a very good chance of victory here.
MYM is doing a very good game so far, and the combination of having Storm and AA in the same team is always very strong. If you can time your initiations, you will catch people and put AA ulti on them. And most heroes don't survive that.
Yep. Normally I say here what Absolute Legend could take advantage is the long cooldown of the Tide Ravage and how infrequent that this team could actually fight. But if you look at the Absolute Legend team, they don't really want to take a fight even when the ultimate is down or unless, you know, someone's horribly out of position, because again, Life Stealer needs level, Invoker desperately needs a lot of farm, and Dragon Knight nowhere near his big items, or level 16. He's only level 9, and he just have a cloak and treads. He's very underfarmed as well. And I wonder how Absolution is going to make a comeback, if they're going to make a comeback.
Yeah, definitely going to be hard, and he is going for that armlet on Max, and he should have it really soon. I think he needs the attack speed, the gloves of attack, or the blades, and then he has it. But they need to get more towers, and the thing is that they can't really fight.
Yep.
And we have Dagon on Fury. Interesting.
Well, we were mentioning the other time how Dagon normally isn't one of the... It's usually a very poor item, but if you're ahead like this, probably one of the best items to get.
The thing is with they have so good burst damage coming out from having a Storm, having an AA, and of course Ty can do pretty hard as well. Adding a mobile Dagon, so to say, that can TP in anywhere and just throw that little burst, they will be able to pick off heroes a lot easier.
Looks like they're going to transition to a bot push.
They want to get bottom lane, yeah.
Yep, Ravage is up once again, and here we go. I do not believe...
And a gang mid lane, smoke gang mid lane at the same time. I don't know if they will manage to catch him now.
Well, they do have a Hex that's probably going to be...
Rasta needs to get in first. It's long cast range, but
yeah,
he's
that's...
being very careful. He knows that if they're not defending this, then they're out for him. That's the only option. He's gonna go around.
Riss just hits level 9. Yeah, he's gonna just go to the top. He's like, screw this mid tower. And
this feels bad.
Radiant's gonna use a glyph for this. This tower is gonna go down. Riss cannot put his head 2 out because a single orb walk here will just mean a death. Here comes the Viper, poking his head out, scaring him away. EMP Tornado drop just on the TIE Hunter. But he's still very healthy in terms of his mana. Does have arcane boots. A teleportation comes in, but he's TPing right into a Ravage. Shatan's got to be very careful, and Cat Hunter got to drop off that ultimate on Shatan. He's very, very low, and I do believe Shatan is not going to get the kill. There's the ultimate. There's the cold feed on him as well. Ice Black comes right in, and Shatan's absolutely dead. There you go. Mobile Dagon comes right now. I do believe they could just go on the high ground.
And they're coming from behind now with 2.
They still have the Ravage. There's a smoke. Musica. Ward gets dropped down. Here comes a huge Ravage. No, his mana gets burned out. Can't get the Ravage. Finally, he does. You have a Godai picking off the Furion, and he is going to get picked off as well. That Ravage was absolutely late.
I left my hoverings in your backside.
Some teasing coming out from Enchantress. Yeah, they came in pretty nicely behind them there at the end of the fight, and the EMP is just annoying to play against the Tide. Even though they have 2 mana boots.
I feel like that was MYM's team fight to win because they picked off Shatan, 4v5 right in the beginning. Granted, they used both Ancient Apparition Ice Blast and also Viper Strike. So they're down 2
The thing is, they didn't have Storm. They have Storm on free farm, and he
true.
almost has his BKB. He needs 1k gold, and he has. And when Storm has BKB, that's one of the most annoying things in a game. Is when Storm has BKB early, because he's just gonna kill anyone he wants, and he's gonna pick off the Rasta instantly or the Nakes in the fights. And that's gonna be there's not gonna be anything they can do about it.
Yeah, Rasta probably the more likely target, or maybe Invoker, because he is low enough level where Storm could actually do fatal damage, especially if you add Ancient Apparition into the picture. So it's very interesting to see him to go point booster and back into Black King Bar though.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I like it. It's pretty good. He needs the maximum stats. That's very important on a hero like Storm. With more max stats, you can tank that shit before you die, and then just get out. Wow, nuking the illusion a little bit.
And here comes the mid push with all 5 people this time. Ravage is not up, but it's not going to be up till 50 seconds. EMP Tornado keeping everyone back. Not too sure MYM needs to do this push, at least right now. Maybe they should wait for Ravage to be back up.
I feel they should just keep doing what they were doing. Split pushing, keeping the pressure up, throw some Fury and ulti, and then go Roshan.
Yeah,
they can probably do it so easily. And with Storm finding a DD rune, can definitely lane top lane without Nates being a problem.
Maybe they are going to wait for the Black King Bar, which is about 700 gold away here. On the bot lane, TIE Hunter dropping off a couple wards. They do have a couple of smokes. Maybe they're going to back off, smoke up, and maybe initiate or go for a fight. But right now, we see level 10 on the Invoker. Still not the best level, but you can see that his Wex and Quas points are fairly high. Still no Exhort yet, so no Deafening Blast or Ice Wall to be called upon. But EMP Tornado at this point is starting to be a little bit annoying, as it's burning about 300 mana per pop.
Yeah, and he's getting quicker now that he has his drums and his face boots. He's gonna be harder to catch because the positioning of an invoker is so based on his movement speed, and with good positioning, you don't die.
Right now, we do have a Shadow Shaman picking up the Bracer as well as Arcane Boots, so he's gonna be fine. Hood is finished on DK, and once they get Pipe on DK, this game might just turn around because the dire side does have quite a bit of magical damage.
Great warding by MYM this game. They have so big control of the wards. I think they have 6 wards out right now. Oh, and Goda gets caught.
And Goda gets mobile dagged up. Yep.
It's the Manor Steel.
The Manor Steel. And here comes the Sharky push on the mid lane if they want to call for it. It's gonna be really easy 4v5. Even though Enchantress is not the the most important hero, it's the fact that it is a 4v5 and AL probably don't want to take that
They
fight.
probably realized that AL can't fight 4v5 no matter which hero is missing. It's too hard.
Especially
So
with
they're gonna get one more tower, and with these wards they can probably go for Roshan.
Yep.
So yeah, we will be seeing that most likely. But they do have a little ward here now on the bottom rune.
It is going to be running out Verver soon, so maybe if they're lucky, they could actually go for
Oh,
Tie
they're
Hunter.
going for the catch mid.
Are they going to use the ultimate just for Musica? They're going to use a huge zip. Backing bar gets popped here. Musica, there's a Ravage on 2. Ice Blast on Snoopy. And we have the entire AL team in huge trouble. Here comes the EMP Tornado and the Lifestealer in position. HY with the double damage doing quite a bit of work. And here comes the Cat Hunter. We have to invest into a creep. Goldak doing massive damage. That's what you don't see from a Chen, that impedance damage. Here comes Shaitan. He will have open wounds in just a bit. There's the open wound trying to TP out. He's not going to be able to make it. HY very low on the mana.
Storm.
Wow, Absolute Legend winning this team fight. They should not be winning this.
Did you see the storm
Yes,
kill?
that should not follow.
No, it shouldn't kill him. Well, it should, actually. It should, unless he times his jump correctly.
I thought if you just jump once, like the attack just glitches out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it doesn't really do that in Dota 1 either. It's kind of based on how you time it.
I see.
If you just jump before it's even close to you, then it will hit you unless you jump very far. But that was kind of sad. Storm died because he was a bit overeager, and they got caught out after that big initiation.
Absolute Legend always surprised me how they're supposed to win the team fights. Once you saw the Shadow Shaman and the DK got picked off, I thought this was it. You know, the rest is going to be a 3v5, but without the ultimates, Ravage was used by then, Ancient Apparition was used by then. Shaitan just TP'd in, and he kind of just rolled over everyone.
Yeah, the thing is that they used everything to burst those two. They could probably have been a bit more conservative, just first burst down the Rasta,
Especially that
and
Vibro.
the DK. Because without even the AA ulti, they can't kill off the Nakes. They don't have anything.
I feel like the Vibro should always be reserved for Shaitan, because I don't feel like you're lacking burst to kill anyone else, but the slow is just exceptional against dealing with Shaitan. So
Seeing the Dagon and the ulti flying in and the Gush, I think that they would definitely kill the Rasta with just that. And then again, now they're pinging on Roshan. They want to go for it, but after just losing a fight, it's a bit hard.
yeah, they don't even have their ultimate up yet. But here comes the gank with the Black King bar, HY music. Look at his HP getting burst down. Here comes another Manor Steal, and here we go. Go down in a little bit of trouble. But look at the Enchantress dealing massive DPS, and we have to figure out maybe in a little bit of trouble. He's trying to TP out. He's gonna get. Oh my goodness! There's a Hex, and he's gonna get picked up. That was close.
Yeah. Pretty brave TP to not even sprout himself or anything, or to hide a bit more. But
that was a
Can't
1-for-1
get
trade
pushed
for a
now.
DK. I think they're fine with that. But here comes a push on the mid lane.
they got fine. Yeah. And they get an offensive ward while they're pushing. That's just as valuable as getting the tower. Is this vision where the enemy team won't think you have it.
Stormstar TPs to the top lane. That means he's not going to be defending right now. AA Blast is going to come in, nuke down these guys a little bit here. We do have a mecha up on Enchantress, and mid tower not going to get denied or not going to get defended.
No. Nice comeback going on right now by AL. Very
Yeah.
nice play. And by the way, have you noticed that Nyx has a Maelstrom? it's kind of not the items we see in competitive games that often, except on like Tide and Vayne. But very interesting.
Yeah, I feel like Maelstrom probably an odd choice in this game, considering that they're getting burst down so much. I thought he was gonna opt for a little bit more survivability, but feels like
he's gonna farm. He wants to have his items, and sure, it's pretty good because you need when you upgrade, you need the Hyperstone. Hyperstone is great for Nags, so it's a logical item.
Right.
And we have seen AL gone for when they play DK. They often go for the Maelstrom as well, upgrading into Mjolnir as well as Assault Cuirass, and you have a sick dragon. They're going for Roshan now on the MYM side.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether the AL guys know or if they know. Well, there's a war right there.
The Trents, yeah, but they smoked in, but now they send friends into it. So
yeah.
They kind of show.
Well, maybe the Trent just scouting, maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe no, they're not scouting. They're going for the Roche, and yeah, they're gonna bring this down without much resistance here. And if who's gonna pick this up?
Oh, they are gonna come now.
Stormstream.
They're trying, gathering up for smoke. Yeah, they're gonna be in time. Not really in time, but
maybe HYHY could drop down a remnant.
Gonna catch someone. Storm might.
No, they're gonna just try to suicide for this Roche. They do have Ravage up. And who's gonna pick it up? There's Stormster picking that up, so that's a good win here. And Ultimate gonna use on music an EMP Tornado on top of everyone. Here comes Lifestealer, and Net is gonna go down before he drops his ultimate. And we have Sharky trying to TP out. He uses a Ravage, not the best because there's no follow-up, no DPS to follow. But here comes the Stormster. He does have quite a bit of mana left. He does have the agents, and they're gonna burst down the Viper as well. HY trapped. He's gonna zip out from this way. Here comes the Enchantress. And I gotta say, despite the fact that Aegis was taken by the dire side, it is another Radiant victory.
I don't really agree. I think it's pretty okay by MYM. I mean, they killed Invoke, they killed the DK, and they lost.
Viper,
what did they really lose?
An Ancient Apparition. I guess.
And,
yeah,
they got Aegis on Storm. That's
right.
a huge item to have.
Where's the party?
A Storm with 2 lives is really decisive in team fight. So next team fight, they can be really strong. It's not a big win for either team, but I think MYM are pretty happy with the result.
Okay. Viper right now, this feels like Dendy school of Viper. Just go mass tank. I'm not too sure whether I like this choice in this game though, because
this time would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I feel like, especially maybe 10-15 minutes ago when they're winning so much, I think getting Viper is very standard, but do we really need Hard, especially against the Lifestealer who loves
I think
beating...
Hart is a really bad choice here. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think he should have gone Agastick. It's cheaper and it's better. I mean, sure, tankiness is fine, but as you said, against Lifesteal, he's gonna still lose like 400 HP per hit on the first hits. And I don't see the usefulness in this. Sure, they force AL to put their Nags on the Viper, and that's an interesting little feature of it. But does it really matter that much?
Yeah, it was actually Golda that killed the Viper last game or last fight, and he was the one that did significant damage. Do not underestimate Impetus damage as it deals pure damage, and it hurts really badly. So
it does really hurt, and he's going for the Aga, of course. He's not very close to it, but I just feel if Viper had his Aga and farmed up level 16, he would be raping these fights because. As you know, the cooldown is just nothing when you have it. I think it's 12-second cooldown.
Yep. And of course,
I could be wrong.
The Acceptor gives you the necessary mana to cast that ult repeatedly as well. So.
Oh yeah, and it's very cheap in mana. Once it's level 16 and Aga, it's just it's better in every way almost. It decreases mana cost and cooldown and increases cast range, and it's a big decrease on cooldown. It's not even the half cooldown of what it is without it.
Well, MYM is close to one of their very key item on the Prophet, which is the Hex. He's just about 800 gold away here. Stormster is very close to his own Bloodstone as well. I feel like the Bloodstone in a game like this, unless you get many kills, which I don't see them doing for a bit, it's not going to be really worth it. The plus HP is also very nice, and it looks like they are going to transition into a top push. Ravage is up. And do we have a...
Oh, with the Invis, he's going to scout behind the tower. Behind the tier 2 tower, I think, but no. Is he gonna stay?
What is he doing? He's just going to level 1 camp?
I'm not sure what he's doing. That is my And now his team is getting caught out on the
Uh-oh.
top. He might want to jump here though.
Yeah, he's gotta jump. Oh, nice Sprout here, keeping the Viper at K, and they're gonna waste a lot of spell. Ice Blast comes in. Here comes the Ravage as well. Snoopy gets picked off immediately. He drops his Mass Serpent Ward, and it looks like Goda has gone down as well. Great focus. And now Shaitan and Dragon Knight in huge troubles. Yep. Shaitan says, I'm gonna be dead, but I'm gonna take 3 guys with me, or I'll try.
He can jump inside a creep as well.
Oh, he gets Hex. Nope, he gets picked off. And looks like Invoker has somehow got a kill as well. He does have Treads, and of course,
he bought back.
Force Staff, and I think that was a yeah.
I think this was a big mistake by AL focusing the Viper, as we sit here and talk about how he's only behind tankiness, and then we see them just going all in on the Viper. Was pretty much the worst thing they could do in team by not bashing the team, of course, but they just barely got the kill on it.
And that also allowed their Rasa and Enchantress got picked off, which, despite being supports, they are kind of the backbone of the DPS output right now, because, you know, Dragon Knight and Shaitan aren't really able to do too much damage, given the fact that they're melee most of the time.
Yeah. I think the Bloodstone is going to pay off, by the way. It's pretty nice for Storm Spirit. He already has 15 mana per second with this build, and Storm is all about that mana per second and having a good survivability.
Right.
And of course, the Hex Stick is very nice, but I don't feel it's necessary when you have a Furion that already has it.
Well, he pops a BKB right now, and
just be teasing them. It's gonna stay a little bit with it.
Viper does
walk out here.
Viper does hide the hard finish. I wonder what he's gonna go next. Probably something like a Manta style for a little bit of more mobility, and at least that's a standard build. Meanwhile, we have a gem up on the Champion. Just get a Dagon. I think we are approaching the stage where Dagon might not be the best item choice, but you know, it'll be fun. Double Dagon with an Ice Vortex, man. There's the damage amplification.
This AA has 7 earned charges, so they could definitely just sustain a push for a long time if you want to go for the mid tier 2 tower. But I don't know. I feel they should use the Aegis on Storm Spirit, force another fight, but they don't have to. They have Blink Dagger on Tide now as well.
Right now, I do believe they are just waiting for the ultimate on cooldown. Yeah, it's gonna come off cooldown in just a bit. They have the Hex finish, so there's really no reason for Razor or for MYM to wait anymore. I think they could just go for a mid push or top push, and just kind of overpower their way in. Or do you feel like the game is too even? If AL is not out of position, it's difficult for the Dire to lose the fight.
Every time that AL has lost the fight is because of positioning. They have turned around fights very hard when MYM underestimate them. So definitely they shouldn't be too courageous here, but if they catch one off, like Music in mid lane is running out a little bit, they have vision of that. They could just jump with a Storm and catch them.
Right. In terms of catching people off, like you said, there is a Storm Spirit, there is a Hex, a global Hex from that Prophet, so they have fairly easy time in doing so. Right now, Absolute Legend having very, very good map awareness, not getting caught off, and looks like Shaitan's going to poke his head out. He's got to be careful. He does have Rage and TP, and that's going to get him on most of things, so. Waka showcasing some beautiful logic and humor right here.
And Storm, he's not gonna go for anything. He's just gonna jump down and show that he's there. They're gonna get this mid tower without resistance.
Right, EMP Tornado on the Storm Spirit. That's gonna drain 400 mana. He's not gonna be too happy about that. Top tower still alive for now, but Shaitan's gonna sit his butt on the top lane until the moment that MYM decides to push into the base, which might be now. Let's see when he's gonna TP. I think he's gonna just at the very least go for a top tower and get this team a little bit extra gold. Force the TP scroll to come back.
Yeah, I think they're gonna catch a hero before he gets his tower though. They're gonna jump with this next wave. That's why I feel. Scout with the Treants and jump with Storm.
Music poking his head out, and so is Snoopy. They gotta be very careful. Yeah, Tidehunter has his Blink Dagger. Despite of that, he's sitting right in position to get EMP Tornado. Top tower gets destroyed right now. Shaitan picks that one up.
Yeah, it did blink out of the EMP though, right. So no mana burn, no hard feelings. But they're probably just gonna stay back and farm now. Oh, Nex is hiding inside the creep.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
It's gonna go right out here and use a TP. Cool. All right, so
Jump right out and rage TP.
I gotta say that
Okay.
was more in favor of. Well, nothing really happened, but I think Shaitan was able to get some very valuable farm. Got a free tier 2 tower for his team.
I agree with you. I think this was more in favor, in a way, of AL, and they're smoking up now. They wanna try to kill.
Over here now.
Might not be the best timing, because as soon as you see lanes that are not being defended, you will think, oh, smoke gang. And mid lane, you see a lane that's not being farmed, and nobody is on bottom lane either.
The other side doing a very good job being staying relatively together. Of course, Prophet not there, but he can be there very easily. And it looks like they're looking for someone. The Roshan, by the way, is going to respawn in just a moment's time, so maybe that's what Absolute Legend's thinking. If we win the team fight here, get the map control back, we can have a decisive lead into the late game. And it seems like TIE Hunter Invis as well. It's going to be waiting very patiently. Here comes the mid push once again. Prophet could be ready to TP anytime, and he's just waiting. Looks like Music a little bit out of position. He does have a teleport scroll. He has an Ogre Club in conjunction with his pipe. A little bit of gold difference check. We do see a 7,500 lead for Dire. It's not actually the biggest lead 36 minutes in, so.
Yeah, it's not too big actually. They are managing to keep the gold pretty even. And if they do get the BKB up on Dragon Knight, it's going to be huge. He's closing up on level 16 too. That's why I feel MYM should try and take at least a tower in the base. But they're defending very well. And Invoker is super good turtle here. There's no one who's better than him.
Stormzer is going to zip for Music AI Splash. A lot of ultimate just used for him. Can he get brought down? Dagon, use your Dagon. He is going to shatter. Nicely done. Here comes a Ravaging and focus on Risk. Great target of focus, but there's a Hex into a Mass Servant War Trap. He does have the Aegis. And
He does not. It ended.
It timed out. Wow. That is just unfortunate.
Oh, and he's got
Absolute
Viper has
Legend,
TP.
both, yeah, Absolute Legend, DK, and Invoker both safe for buyback. Or DK definitely had a buyback, and now he's gonna try to TP out. Good luck with that. And here comes Absolute Legend. They're gonna take the Aegis,
Yeah, they're gonna take Roshan.
and that is just a huge swing in the game.
Yeah, a lot of this is because Storm died and didn't have Aegis. They waited too long, and usually when you play professional games, you time the Roshan respawn, so you will know when you don't have Aegis anymore. And on Storm, it's very important to think about it. So it's a bit of a mistiming. Very sad for him, but this is gonna be very decisive. And I say the lead is now in ALC.
Yeah, that quote-unquote a little bit mistiming actually might cost the entire game. So now DK is level 16 now. He still has no real item, but level 16 DK is.
Have his BKB pretty soon, I think. Chicken has. No? Ah, he bought back, yeah.
Right, so he's somewhat poor, but he's gonna get some farm in the mid lane. So.
Then again, as you said, the Enchantress is dealing sick damage, and a lot of the damage, of course, is just nakes.
Right.
Still, they chose to burst the DK out of all heroes. I feel he's not. He was level 15 without anything but a pipe. He's just screaming, "Focus me!" That's all he's doing.
Right, and well, he's getting focused. So.
Yeah.
The thing is, only Musica's putting himself in a position to be focused. Even though they have a storm, like it's somewhat difficult to zip past, 4 or 5 heroes.
Very good positioning, but with this aggressive ward that they are having on the enemy base, they could have jumped in and caught the Brasta, which would have not certainly won the fight, but if they did that and still had Aegis, I think that would be game probably. But we see that Furin is also closing up on a lot of bigger items now. He has his Hex, he has his Dagon, and he has 2.6k.
Where do you go from here?
In
terms of item on Prophet?
Here it's very open what you want to go. You can go for a low fart, just be that annoying guy that you have to buy dust against. Or you went for 4-staff. That's a more logical choice. It's a very good item.
4-staff 40 minutes in the game? It's always a good item.
It's good the entire game as long as you have an inventory slot free for it. And Storm is probably going to go for Hextech, but he could go for Shivas as well. It's not bad in this game.
Right now we have the Viper, level 16 with the Yasha. I feel like the Viper, after 20 minutes though, have not contributed too much of anything in the fight.
No, he heard what I said about going for Aga and he didn't do it.
Yes, he heard it. He was listening to a stream and he didn't do it. How dare him.
Yeah.
So,
well, I agree with you. He's not doing too much at all in this game, and yeah, it kind of beats me why they pick Viper in this game if they don't want to go for Aga and spam ulti, because as a carry he's not very good. He's just pretty bad. He's a very strong team fight ganker sort of thing when he has level 16 Aga.
Right, I think they picked it right when they saw the Lifestealer. Like, okay, yeah, we can own him, but so far we haven't seen too many ultimates on Shaitan, and that's.
No, if you want to own the Lifestealer, it's kind of textbook that you don't go for hard first. You go for mana.
Right, that's exactly. So it's just it looks okay on paper, but in the actual game, it's not working out. So.
Yeah, and look at the gold of that Nyx. I think this shows how strong they are right now. Nail.
Well, he's making sure, you know, gotta have buyback gold, because Absolute Legend is, they always have
buyback. The gold difference
buyback.
right now, I mean, he can cover it and have buyback after paying the gold difference from his own pocket right now.
Right.
So, he's a very rich man. He could buy a Divine. Not that he should, of course, but...
I think the next item here is Heart for Lifestealer, or is this something else?
You can go for a lot of things. You could go for the Orchid or Guinsu to shut down the annoying Storm that jumps in. And we'll probably see you really soon. He bought something now.
It is on the Seeker shop.
It is really hard.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard.
So no buyback just for now, because... By the way, a quick way to figure out how much gold you're going to lose, if you're trying to figure out how much I could spend for a late game buyback situation, when you die, you lose a 30 gold times your level. So right now, if Lifestealer dies, he will lose 630 gold. And it's always good in late game to actually figure out if you want to.
That is very good.
Yeah. So no, does he have enough? That's a question.
Oh,
Barely.
he's jumping inside the Rasta. They want to do a cool gang. And, they have vision of Fear, I think. Yeah.
Stormster used a whole bunch of mana and his blacking bar as well, so there's not gonna be.
No one's gonna save that guy now.
We were watching top. I was like, "Where's is this gank happening?" I was looking at the mid lane where Stormster was jumping, but.
Oh yeah.
Blink Dagger is up on Snoopy. I'm sure that was what you were talking about, and I just did not see it.
Yeah, that's why I said jump, and that kind of leads the thoughts to Storm. But
right, I was like, "Where's Storm? Oh my god!"
I was referring to a nice jumping inside of Rasta. Right. But interesting to see that MYM doesn't really feel that they have to finish this. They're just happily farming the entire map.
I don't think they. I feel like maybe they're feeling a lot of defensive now. This game is very even at this point, 21-22. They lost their Aegis on Storm. Now the Aegis is on the enemy hero. Yeah. They don't want to focus on DK anymore, because the last couple of times they focused on DK, they lost, and now Lifestealer has a Aegis, and you can't focus on them either. So.
And the thing is that it's now that they have to start focusing the DK, because he's getting up his items, and it's now that he's gotta start doing something in the fight. It was actually not a big factor of the fight.
It's just a load of bad news here for MYM, as they are hitting their peak on their hero. I mean, Stormman and Furion does have quite a bit of item extension left. But as their hero goes, they're kind of done. Viper's done a long time ago. And same with A and Tide.
Enchantress also has his Aga. I don't know if you said that, but that's going to be huge in the team fights as well. He's doing very well with his impetus right now, and adding that range, he's going to do even better. So it's turning a bit dark for the Dire team.
Yeah, unless Absolution gets absolutely out of position, they're going to be fine. MYM, I mean, they do have the bot towers up, but I don't think they're going to even defend this. At least not for the first tower, or maybe they will.
No, not the first tower. I think. Oh, they're throwing the ulti. Nah, they don't want to go.
Yep.
But yeah, it turns out you were right. I think Bloodstone didn't really pay off in this game. He has only 4 charges, and it's pretty useless now.
I don't know. I feel like they were so ahead that would allow them to go a little bit more aggressive item, like, you know, for example, like the Dagon on the Prophet. But instead, they went for somewhat defensive item, Point Booster, and then the heart, the questionable heart on a Cat Hunter.
The questionable heart. Oh, the Pipe, they want to go for the racks here.
Yeah, they're going to go for the win. Let's see if it's going to do it. Pipe is, you know, well, blocking quite a bit of damage. It blocks all that ultimate. And bot tower gets destroyed. MY making no defense. Are we going to see a tie jump?
Oh my god, they're just giving away the racks now. They realize they can't fight it.
Is this some next level tactics or what? Like, this is zero defense. They're all kind of standing there. Here comes a Rage TP. Nothing they can do about that. Storm is going to take the chance to zip on music. A Blacking Bar gets popped. He's going to TP. Goda might die.
Oh.
No, what? What? Goda gets...
I don't know if he didn't have vision there or what.
Well, Goda's going to die, but who cares?
Wow, that's so cheap, Rex. Okay.
And why I'm
not
having
sure
a
why they
meltdown.
didn't fight it. They're kind of up against a stronger late game, pretty much stronger late game, and they don't even defend racks. But if they don't push now, they have nothing to gain from it.
I think they're just waiting for the third incarnation of Roche. Maybe that's it. If they can somehow get the Aegis and
Maybe.
cheese.
Maybe they don't think it's too hard to defend one lane of Mega Creeps. But what are they gonna do when the entire AL team is standing on the top lane, knocking on the front door?
Well, they do have Prophet, which is one of the most imbalanced here when it comes to situations like these. So.
They didn't even choose to push during that time, because I feel they could have at least gone into tower mid.
That's true.
But they just stood around with 5 heroes watching them take their racks, and that's very sad. It's like torture. So I don't know. And they could have forced them in. They could have done so many things. Force in with Force Staff and then Hex them.
Hey, true.
Yeah, that's
Typing,
very true.
Typing the mantra here. Rax nut.
Very true, but wow. Next is, by the way, inside of Rasta again. So they're looking for some fun ganking.
Dragon
Just standing around with this Blink Dagger.
Dragon now adds a plate mail to his item, 1,000 gold in the bank. No buyback, but no buyback necessary. Even if you lose a team fight in the enemy territory, you have, some time, quite a bit of time to actually defend. And the MYM team going to smoke up, that is the question. Tie Hunter has a Ghost Scepter, same thing with Ancient Aberration. Fortunately, Ghost Scepter don't help you kill Lifestealer or DK.
No. An Invoker had 5k gold during that push, and he bought an Ultimate Orb now and saves money for buyback, but he has his Hex if he wants to.
Yep.
And they're smoking.
Stormster not in position to defend. He's going to port back right now. And Roshan is...
I don't think they have Roshan timer. They forgot to write it down, I think. Or are they right on time?
Maybe this is a
Perhaps
very elegant bait. It's like, oh, they're missing.
In case the enemy doesn't write down the Roshan timer, we are here to wait for them.
Oh, and that's right there. Oh, and they did not break out their invis just yet. They do see him. Yeah, there's Observer Ward.
It could be so bad for them if they got caught inside that.
Very clutch warding here by Absolute Legend, because without that ward, they might have started Roshan, and that would have been all the way bad.
Oh, it would be so bad, yeah.
Yep. Top tower is going to be pushing again, Prophet being so imbalanced with things like that. And here's a zip here for Snoopy. Can they bring him down? The next pops right out. Razor, he's going to be fine. There's the 4v5. And are they going to keep on pressuring this right now? We do have Prophet in the backline. He's going to get picked up by Tornado. No, he's going to get slowed down though. Where's the Prophet going? He's going to be dead.
Force Staff! Force Staff!
Nope.
No.
He does a buyback, so it's good. So it's all good.
It is all good. They're probably gonna get Aegis from this very nice initiation by HY, catching that Rasta and just killing him. He knows that nothing can stop him. And okay, some mirror buybacks. Okay, you 5, we 5 as well.
Yeah, man, no problem. I think Prophet cannot stay dead. That's the issue with him. He's got to defend multiple lanes.
And he's going for Manta, by the way. He has a Yasha, unless he's going for Sangs and Yasha, and that would be so bad.
That would make no sense. I think Manta is a great choice. Well, against the MP Tornado, Ether Shock, and Frost Blast, it might not seem like a good choice.
Next
but
is up to 6k gold again.
After you have
He's
Heart.
too rich, this guy. Yeah.
I say it's time to get Lothars.
Lothar would be very nice, actually. But they always have Gem, is what I feel, on the IoT. They had it on AA pretty much the entire game. I don't know how, because he doesn't have any HP at all. But...
No, I'm just a little bit worried about whether Lifestealer could get up to everyone in right click, and the movement speed bonus of the Shadow Blade would be somewhat helpful for that. Or maybe he's gonna go Blink. That's a choice as well. We'll see.
Yeah. But I think Shadowblade would be better, actually, as you say. It's because then you get some attack stats for your maneuverability, whereas a Blink is pretty boring to have when you're heading into a super late game. You will pretty much just sell it off. And he's so rich, you could buy a Daedalus now and just quit everyone to death. Or a Divine, I don't know, he's going for it. Let's see what he buys.
Oh, can't. No, he's gonna be a Daedalus.
Yeah.
Come on, Shatan!
If he wanted a Divine, he would bought it right there.
Right.
That would be too ballsy, I think.
There's
few
no need to
players
take
would
that
do
risk.
that.
No need to take that risk. Although
Yeah,
it'd be really
very
cool.
few players would do that, and most players would get flamed to death when they do it.
Except Dendy. Dendy
Yeah.
always get Divine. Oh, I like
So,
it.
Divine is very nice, though. But the thing is, you have no... Oh, mid.
There's a zip on Shatan. There's not enough damage output. Black King bars down. And here comes Cat Hunter. Pops a Mantis. And there's an ultimate on Shatan, but he doesn't care at this point because that Viper not moving at all. And Tie Hunter comes in again a little bit late. Blink out. That's going to be a 4v5. Roshan is back up. The question is, will they go into the Roche pit or they go mid? I think they're going to go mid.
We'll just push, yeah. They will push this for the GG. And I think they will go for top lane as well after this. This is so hard for the Dire team now.
Mantis out is picked up here. HY Black King bar in about 20 seconds of cooldown. Absolute Legend
Pretty
taking
long.
their time. Yep.
Pretty long duration on the DK ulti still. It's halfway. So they can go for this.
I think Stormsterry could just jump in right now and use one as his buyback and then come back with a BKB for the second jump. But looks like they're not
Yeah.
defending this once again.
They
As
can't do that. They can't do that. That's... Oh my god. Oh, now they go.
there's a Ravage, there's a Burst. How much damage will they do? They pick off the... Invoker buys back immediately, so it's not as dead. Music, look at his damage output. HY gets shackled up. He's gonna be dead. Is he gonna be dead? No, he zips out barely. I think it's actually better to die in that
He
situation.
dies.
Buyback.
Oh my god.
Enchantress finding him again.
This doesn't miss. I think that one should have missed.
And there's a mid
Oh my
range.
God.
They're gonna back off now. Stormsterry will look for someone, but oh, there's Snoopy. But any victory that you get here is more or less a Pyrrhic victory. A Pyrrhic victory? Is that how you say it? A Pyrrhic victory.
I don't know. Oh, he denied the gem before he dies. Good play by Gordon.
Small barracks are under attack.
Sunstrike sounding like a meteor.
Yeah. Risk might be in a
Like
little
a
bit of
nuke
trouble.
inside.
In fact, these guys might be in trouble because Viper's involved in this chase, and that's one of the things he actually does well. And now Shatan completely trapped. Nice jump here by our, but he gets picked up by Enchant. No.
Oh my god. Nikes against World. And he's winning.
Uh-oh.
He's gonna go down now, but
This
did very
Viper, man.
well.
Doing work. Everyone and their mom is just buying back, because... Uh-oh.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Music gets so blocked by his scream, and HY just jumped out into Shatan. So,
Yeah.
that fight was so odd that I don't even know what to say about it.
In the end, they did lose the melee racks, and
Right.
they lost the racks
That's
on the
all
side
good.
lane.
Under attack.
And they're being pressured on top
Dire's
lane and
top
taking
tower
damage
is
on the
under
tower.
attack.
And they didn't really win the fight. They bought back, and Storm died twice. AL playing really good.
Yeah,
It's
AO was also forced to buy back several times, but
Yeah.
they could
They
afford the
can
buybacks.
definitely afford it, yeah. They have no problem. And if we look at the gold graph now, it's back in advantage to the Radiant, which is not surprising. And he has MKB instead of crits on Shatan.
Yep.
So he wants to abort something.
MKB's
I'm
not
not sure
bad in terms of late game, because MKB gives you a magical component in terms of damage output, and everyone, high armor in the late game situation, so
Yeah,
it's
I
decent.
guess. Then again, crit scales very well into
That's
the
true.
super late game as well.
That's true.
You crit around 1200 and so on. It's also very nice. And
Snoopy has Black King Bar in conjunction with Cheese, Aegis on Shatan.
yeah,
If this-
they're not
if-
gonna be able to defend this at the barracks. They have to catch them before they get there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Even
They're not
it
gonna
was
do
Nyx against the world earlier, and Nyx was winning, like you said. So
Yeah, he was standing against 4 heroes, and it took them 20 seconds to kill him. And That shouldn't happen. Nax should never be that strong. It should be DK that's that kind of hero. But they always focus the DK in early game, and because of his AOE farmability, he farmed up BK and Assault Cuirass pipe anyway.
Yep.
Meanwhile, shutting it down and Nax will shut him down for good, you know. So I think they should have done that more in the team fights.
Last push, very much a it's just like
Nax
playing the book, because
Nax is just gonna stand here now.
Yep.
See what they do.
Oh, there's a Viper ultimate. That's cute. Oh, he jumps into a creep, comes out with HP. HY focus on wrist. That's a great focus. Yep. And now Shaitan might be in a little trouble. He does have the Asia, so he's trying to. He's gonna turn back for the Cat Hunter. He's gonna go down in 3 hits. Yep. Shaitan getting some nice regen back. MYM on full retreat. And it is true for 4 weeks in a row. This is going to be the 5th week. MYM drops the first game. The question is, will they win the second game? Huge ravage.
Doing some valiant last defense now, but with the egg is still up, I think there's no way to win this.
Yep. Choi goes down. Net is going to go down. Game number 1 goes to Absolute Legend.
I'm very surprised. I did not think that AL would lose the early game and then win in the mid game, late game transition. I mean, they won the late mid game, so to say. They lost the mid game.
Yeah, there was a moment in time where MYM had the lead, and we're just waiting. Why aren't they pushing mid? Why aren't they?
It looked like MYM had the game at that point. They were so strong, and they could have just finished it with a split push from Furion and pressuring lanes with AL to even. They could have done so much, but they kind of got scared of losing some fights. I think because of focusing DK too much, and they couldn't push.
Alright, that's game number 1 in the books. Your final score is 29-30. It was MYM that's leading at the end of the game, but it was the Absolute Legend victory. We're going to go to game number 2 right now between these two teams. After this, we're going to have Absolute Legend versus Na'Vi as well, so we're going to have a lot of games, and well, keep staying tuned. This is Luminous and Waga. We're signing out for now. We're coming at you guys with game number 2 right now.